Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining Marketing Intelligence Live. Marketing Intelligence is a channel that creates content that appeals to marketing and media professionals. We bring in a lot of professionals who tell us the back end of how campaigns are done, how brand work is done. So it is a very useful information for students or in general if you're just interested in marketing. So Seth Godin said that marketing is no longer about the stuff that you make, but about the stories you tell. So our point of discussion or the topic of discussion today is related to that. It is B2B storytelling. And to discuss the same, I have with me Namita Tiwari. So I'll just add her to the stream.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for having me here.
Hi Namita.
Hi.
Great. Thanks
So
for joining us.
I'm really,
Yeah.
I'm really
I'll
excited about
just give
today.
a brief introduction of Namita to the audience. So Namita Tiwari is a result-oriented digital and content marketing evangelist. From the technology industry, she has a rich experience around campaigns, content, and communications. Her key forte has been developing messaging and its effectiveness for integrated campaigns. Thanks a lot for joining us, Namita.
Thank you, Nikhil, for the introduction, and I'm really excited about today's topic. B2B marketing and B2B storytelling is very close to my heart, and I cannot wait to start. So, um,
Great.
shall we
So
start?
we'll start off. So our first would be just for the students out there. What is specifically when you're talking about B2B storytelling? What are you talking about?
So just to set the context, before I talk about B2B storytelling, I would like to talk a little bit about B2B marketing because it is different than B2C marketing. And B2B marketing predominantly is when you're trying to sell services to another business. One business is trying to sell services to another business and not directly to consumers, which is B2C. And B2B marketing has a very large buyer cycle. There are various phases, awareness, consideration, decision, and there are various stakeholders involved in every phases. So a large tech deal would take about a year or two to finalize. That's the kind of cycle we have in B2B. And B2B marketing involves promoting your products and services to other businesses while engaging with them through community building, talking to influencers in that industry, talking to analyst advisors, sourcing advisors. So it is far more, I would say, complicated than B2C marketing, and it requires great influence. It requires perhaps more impactful content. That's what I feel. And talking about content, now I'll get down to storytelling. So storytelling is an interactive art of using words, actions, content to engage your audience and to create a narrative, communicate that narrative to the audience so that you can influence them to take the desired action. And storytelling, you leverage the facts that you have, you leverage the stories that you have in your organization, and try to reach out and create an impact in the mind of your audience. B2B storytelling per se, it's not just for customers. It's being leveraged for employees. It's being leveraged to engage with your partners, employees, not just customers. And as we go through in the presentation today, as we talk about in the session, we will share some very exciting examples around that. The storytelling is important because it helps you engage with your customers more effectively, engage with your employees more effectively. People would listen to a storyteller, and and that storyteller would have the power to make them do the desired action, make them listen to them, or perhaps help them take the next step. So B2B storytelling is a very engaging way of
Hmm.
articulating your narrative and
Yes.
ensuring that the audience, engages with you as per
Hmm.
your desired action.
We'll come to the part where um, when we are saying specifically like a storytelling helping businesses. So maybe in a business aspect, we'll not take employees or something. So little bit, if you could elaborate on that.
So yes, storytelling helps businesses in many ways. It's basically a new age mode of communication. Today's content marketing, today's marketing is not just about blatantly putting out your brochures or content out in the face of the customer. It's an approach of storytelling that people usually take to build a connect. Storytelling helps businesses, build a human connect with their brands. It fuels collaboration. There's a lot of co-creation of stories that we do with customers, where we are engaging them and creating a testimonial together, or creating a win story together with customers. So storytelling fuels collaboration. It impacts customer loyalty. It increases brand recall. It differentiates your brand from other brands. So I think these are the few ways in which storytelling helps businesses. I hope this
Okay.
answers your question. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. We'll move on to the next aspect when we are just talking about storytelling per se. So when a marketer is executing this kind of a campaign or something, he has to understand the intricacies of storytelling. So if you could just go through the key elements of storytelling.
Yes. So, storytelling involves primarily understanding your target audience. If you're talking to customers, having your customer segments laid out, knowing your personas. So, even within your customer segments, who is the decision maker, who is the influencer, you need to know. You need to have that information. The second key element of storytelling would be having a right messaging articulated in a very engaging manner. Your messaging should talk about the benefits and not the features of your product or solution. Your messaging needs to be customized. If it is a software product that you're selling, and if it needs to be pitched to a particular cluster, let's say banks, then your messaging needs to be customized to the particular industry. It needs to be customized to the particular persona you are talking to. You need to be very clear and very apt in getting the right storytelling platform in place. So an example would be just like Microsoft has Microsoft Stories as a platform. We have various companies who've identified what kind of platforms they are going to talk about. We have IBM, which has a great blog platform which it uses to engage its customers and employees both. So that is important, having a right platform in mind for leveraging your storytelling. Emotional appeal, you want your brand and your product to be known for being inspiring, believable, reliability. Your story needs to be easy to understand. Your language, your communication has to be very easy to understand and digestible by the customer. Uh, there has to be a great visible value that you are bringing out in your storytelling. So storytelling cannot be just a list of your features and benefit and features. It should talk. It's essentially about what is the great impact that your efforts created for a particular customer, or what is the great impact it is, what is the great value it is bringing to the target audience. So these are the key elements of storytelling, and I think it's very important to get all of them right. I would not be able to say that one is less important than the other. So
That's right.
yes, yeah,
Um, Now let us. I think we will come to some examples with respect to like specifically how certain big brands have used storytelling. So we will start off with the HP, the Wolf campaign, and you can tell
yes,
us something about
yes.
that.
So yes, yes. So HP's The Wolf campaign was on printer security. And it's a very interesting ad. If you look at the ad, you will not know that, you will not be able to guess that it's for printer security. It's like a great
Sure,
small, Hollywood movie kind of an ad. And I'm very excited to that you can play it to the audiences now. It basically
that's right.
tackles a topic at the potential, it basically tackles the topic of printer security in a very entertaining way. And it's like good versus bad, like like the classic movie kind of approach that they have taken, but it's very interesting, so let's watch it.
That's right. So I'll just showcase this to the audience.
Sure.
Tomorrow's a big day for this place. Looks like they've got a presentation to their most important client about a confidential private stock offering. Sure hope everybody's getting a good night's sleep. They are gonna need it.
It's funny how much stuff people leave in the office, huh? It's like they want me to take their personal information.
I'm Mr. Vice President of blah blah blah. My life is ruined.
These folks have no idea that when they come to work in the morning, I not only have helped myself to their personal identities, but I've gotten hold of their clients' most sensitive financial information. The ironic thing is these guys probably spent a fortune securing their network and their servers. But because no one bothered to arm any of these PCs with the BIOS defense system, my malware is free to do its thing. Oh! Now that's what I call a metaphor. Oh yeah, no, there's a lot riding on this meeting. You might even say the future of both companies. I had some huge elaborate plan to worm my way into the video conference, but turns out I didn't have to. See this dude over my shoulder here? Guy who looks like he's about to wet his pants?
Well, he was so nervous, he forgot to pick up the key part of the presentation right off the printer. So now, it's just sitting here, waiting for anybody with an axe to grind to pick it up and share with someone like me. Because this bad boy doesn't have user authentication. It's easy for print jobs like these to go unclaimed. Bingo. First, I got control of their printers. Then, I got control of their network. Then, I got control of their data. And now, this. All the juicy details of a major acquisition. You can see where they wanted to keep it quiet. Along with everything else I've stolen from this place, these guys are in for a really bad day. Truth is, I don't really have anything against them. And they seem like perfectly nice people. But that's beside the point. Why am I exposing one of the financial world's most important secrets? Because I can. Who knows? Maybe next time I'll come after yours.
Are we getting any comments from the audience on how they found it?
Yes. So first, I think we should like kind of analyze it a little bit about the campaign, how it was executed and other details about it.
So I think it's a very good way. It's a very good storytelling example because they have taken up something as boring as a printer and played it up with all the emotions, fear, vengeance, and all a whole range of emotions. And it's been very well done. It's had the right impact. So towards the end, if you see how he talks, at first I got access to the
Hmm.
network, then data, and then the information from the printer. So it's very, very impactful way of storytelling. I think it was pretty good, and something as boring as a printer has been made. I mean, a kind of a small Hollywood movie has been made out of it. So that
That's
way it
right.
was pretty interesting.
Do you think such a campaign, obviously HP is such a huge company and they have these printers, security systems and all. With say now if you see production costs, it's going down and you can maybe create something like a smaller B2B company. Is it possible to create with the story telling, not maybe this level of quality of the content and having some big star or something, but in general, like something can be done?
Yes, I think it is very much doable. I don't think creativity needs a huge capital to back on. I think as long as you have thought through your narrative, as long as you know what exactly is the message you want to communicate, you are able to bring some emotion to it. You will be able to have an impactful storytelling uh, ad done. I don't think creativity is really
Hmm.
is constrained by
That's right.
capital, constrained by budgets.
Like it's something like with the feature you have to identify, and they made a complete narrative that it was interesting where because it's like a kind of a spy thriller, like he is stealing
Yes,
information that they
yes,
correlated it. So that is
yes,
the talent of the people writing the
yes,
story, the marketer, the team involved, how they came up with this full concept.
yes,
So that was
yes. the fear, the features, then the fear, and then the
Hmm.
what actually happened out of it. So I think that was amazing.
That's right. We'll move to our next. What did we talk
Example.
in terms of the example is Microsoft. So yeah, you can, Namita, you can
So
tell us about it.
Microsoft, yes, Microsoft Story Labs is one of my most favorite examples. And incidentally, it's not a customer story example; it's an employee story example. Microsoft is one of the biggest advocates of storytelling, and this platform of Microsoft Story Labs has been in place for many years now, and it's been followed by many great marketers. It's not something that only I'm talking about. I have heard about Microsoft Story Labs from on many forums from many of my mentors and people in the industry who talk about B2B storytelling. So Microsoft Story Labs brings out stories from all sets of employees. They have a huge set of employees, both genders. They have a huge inclusive workforce, and from researchers to artists to video game developers, they encourage their employees to come and talk about their experiences. They encourage their employees to have a voice, and they give a platform of storytelling to their employees, which is amazing. And there is one particular story called Simple Things Count that I would definitely want you to share with the audiences. This particular story is a diversity inclusion story, and let's watch.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm a senior accessibility program manager at Microsoft and teach people in marketing to make their teams and their content more accessible. We want to make sure the most people possible can actually use and enjoy content. I have low vision and I use a screen magnifier, but one person's needs might be the complete opposite of others. Some people need high contrast, others need low contrast. I prefer to educate people ahead of time so they can produce content in an accessible way from the start, with no need to remediate later. If we educate teams on accessibility principles, their work goes faster, easier, and will ultimately save money. Web accessibility standards started in the 90s, but online accessibility has actually gotten worse. People compete to make flashier and showier content, but don't think about how flashiness can be accessible or usable. But I think it can be cool and accessible. It's not a mystery. You just have to learn how to do it. And in the end, you'll create something better for everyone.
Yeah. So
Yes.
I love this story. How did you find it, Nikhil?
Yes, yes. It was very, very differently able person. You are highlighting the story in terms of the way the company
Yeah.
has adapted certain things in the processes, so it becomes easier for them to work and all. It
Yes.
was very, heart touching also, and also about the how this like you are giving that our company is differently able friendly also. In that messaging is
Yes.
also happening.
Yes.
Yes.
So actually, it basically there are profiles, in-depth profiles of employees of Microsoft, which is such a massive corporation, and Microsoft is basically acknowledging that here I am. I'm a unique set of. I have a unique set of workforce, gifted individuals, and this is my way of showing enthusiasm to my employees, and it's my way of offering that a human connect to my employees, which is again going to again going to extend to my customers and my partners. So it's a very very high impact storytelling platform, and it's worked beautifully for Microsoft.
That's right. So we'll move to our next um, B2B
Yes.
storytelling example about AdWords story. I am sure a lot of people have already seen it, because when I think you are using the AdWords interface, or you have just doing some course on it. They are these stories they use as for marketing. So they are like, why they put it out there is the small businesses will get encouraged who are very localized, who did not jump the digital bandwagon very quickly, to then how a small business grew. So this is a very good example.
Yeah, so actually, so Google created these video series called AdWords stories, and the reason why they did that was they wanted their small businesses to know that how using Google AdWords can change your life, basically improve your business and change your life. Let's watch it.
Sure.
People want to be part of something that's greater than themselves. Certainly, we're more than a business that just sells sandwiches. My name is Paul Saginaw, and I'm one of the co-founding partners of the Zingerman's community of businesses.
So in the Zingerman's community of business, there's the Zingerman's Deli, which started it all.
We recognized that we had a desire for growth.
And then there's the Zingerman's Bakehouse, Zingerman's Creamery, Zingerman's Coffee Company.
We have over 700 employees now across 9 businesses. We see ourselves as very local, and we wanted to drive our roots deep in the community.
When you have a plan and a vision to never leave your town, how do you become a national company? The way that happens is through the internet.
Good afternoon. Thank you for calling Zingerman's Mail Order.
The mail order business started just on a card table with one person who would answer a phone every now and again. And now that's grown into a $14 million business. I can't imagine a future where Zingerman's isn't a big part of Ann Arbor. And I can't imagine doing any kind of business and being successful without Google AdWords. It's something you have to do. It's like having a front door. And as Zingerman's mail order grows, so does Zingerman's Bakehouse, so does Zingerman's Creamery. Everyone else is coming along for the ride. Food is about sharing. It's not about coveting. It's not about keeping it to yourself. That's why tables are so big, right?
You're getting some of the best food you can possibly get.
It's kind of an icon, like a landmark of Ann Arbor.
I like to think that we've created a workplace where you weren't just making sandwiches. There is a sense of community. Something extraordinary and wonderful can happen when you're trying to say, how much good can we do with this? Let's have some fun. Let's see what's possible.
Yes.
So I have an interesting observation beyond what I said before. I think not just from the selling of their Google AdWords solution to local businesses, what this particular ad also harped upon was the community building. How important it is for to build up communities that talk about your brand. And every local community has its heroes, and Google made the audience feel that yes, you are a hero, you have a special story, and you have used AdWords, and it has made an impact. So let's talk about your story, and let's use this your community as a platform for Google also to talk about what great work AdWords stories has done for you. So there's also an interesting angle of community building in this ad. Any other observations that have come from the audiences on this?
Yeah, in terms of the campaign only, there is like, if how is it been covered in terms of the business? There was a little bit not clear that it was a small company, it grew with the AdWords related thing. So this was a little doubt in
So it would have taken years, right? I don't think
Yeah.
it's something that happened overnight. But yes, the people have been using Google AdWords for, I think Google AdWords has been there for 10 odd years now.
Yeah.
So communities and businesses may have been using it. It's a good example. It's an example that Google has placed on their platform as Google AdWords story. So, but I'm sure it would the growth part that they mentioned would not have happened so soon. It would have taken a couple of years
Yeah.
for that.
Okay. So with the AdWords and advertising within it, what the mail order, what was the significance of that within that?
I think that was referring to the orders that the local business got, the rise in the orders that they got by using Google AdWords over a period of time. I think that metric was referring to that.
Great. Sure. So I think then we'll just have some questions in this. So first is
Any
the
questions?
B2B. Yes. For B2B businesses, firstly, the SaaS products, what do you kind of suggest? Like anything for where they can do a storytelling campaign?
Sure. So they need to know what is the main message that they want to identify for their particular product. What is the key message, the key positioning that they want? That is step one. Secondly, they need to know who they are targeting. When I'm saying if it's a SaaS solution, many SaaS solutions can be customized for various industries like banks or manufacturing units or retail houses. So if they are doing that, then do they want to target all the segments? And if they want to target all the segments, then what is going to be the key story for every segment? Now, within those segments, you have various decision makers or stakeholders. In B2B selling, stakeholder selling is basically a stakeholder. It's not that one product, one consumer chain takes a decision and buys a product. B2B marketing, B2B selling is not that. There will be a range of decision makers. They will collectively get into a room. They will look at the product. They will take a demo. They will talk to your customer. There will be customer references done. It will take 1 or 2 years. So from that perspective, just know if you're a SaaS product marketing company or a selling company, you need to know who you want to target, understand what messaging you will have for those segments, and then create a story to impact them. Create a partner story. Create a customer story. I don't think employee stories may work here much, but create stories around your partners, around your customers. If you have done really well, if you have some great customer references, convert them into stories. You know, shoot a video around them, and then see. If you just say that, okay, I have this great customer, which is a bank, which has used my SaaS product for n number of years. Saying just telling that as a piece of information will not work. So take the initiative, create a video around that experience, create a nice customer testimonial story. So I think these things will help. Beyond that, also one more important thing is when you are doing B2B marketing, persona based selling. So if you know that, okay, this is a SaaS product, and if I have to go and talk to the uh, you know retail business head, and not who is not a technology head. So what are the benefits of my products that I should talk to him about? If I'm going to talk to the technology head or a CIO head, then it's a technical product, and I'm speaking to a technology guy. So then also you need to know that what exactly I'm going to highlight. That then technological advancements of the product need to be quoted. If you're talking to a business guy or a banking guy, then what your product has done for that segment or what it can do needs to be quoted. And storytelling can be, of course, in form of videos. It can be in form of great content also, a great piece of
Hmm.
content. It can be in a form of a
In this,
video.
obviously the examples have we've taken up been mammoth companies. So when you had this campaign playing in terms of the video, they would have put it on television, or you would have had YouTube advertising. But for a smaller B2B company, when it is distributing some video like this for a very specific target audience, how do you think they'll go about it? Because it's not like based on interest, it's also based on where that person's position is.
Yes, so I'll tell you what. Usually, what B2B companies do, and most of these examples that we showcase are coming from the respective websites. So
Hmm.
how do B2B companies go about it? I'll tell you. So basically, you showcase your content on your website, and you bring people to your website. So through your display AdWords, through LinkedIn AdWords, through demand-based AdWords. You have various lead gen platforms. You leverage them and you bring people to your website where they apparently see your video or download your white paper or download the content. That is how we go about it. There are many other
Hmm.
ways of pushing your content. For example, if you are a SaaS company and you need to build a community of CIOs and build a community and then showcase your product to them. That's a very straightforward way of doing it. But the second way of doing it is go and attend those events where your CIO customers are likely to come or CTO customers are likely to come. And when you are going and attending those events and forums, there you talk about your product. So there's one online strategy which I spoke to you about: bring people on your website, show them your content, and there's an offline strategy that go to the right events regarding that particular technology area, go to the right forums, if possible, create communities and engage. So that's the
That's right.
usual way the marketing is
Um,
done.
with a normal marketing campaign, we all identify goals which can be measured. with such a B2B storytelling campaign out there, like how do you measure, like in terms of, are there anything goals you can set which you can measure?
So there are various measurement metrics in the industry. Predominantly how we measure any online paid online media campaign is more or less the same. Like you see how many downloads you got and what was the impressions, what were the clicks. But beyond that, if you look at it from a company perspective, there are concepts of net promoter score, how your business, this net promoter score is applicable to telecom industry. So there are various industry measures also that are there, which are more holistic in nature, from where you measure how you've really done in terms of engaging with your customer. Beyond that, in many of the B2B companies, there are voice of customer surveys. You hold customer surveys with your existing customers, basically, not with prospects much, but the engaging customers. You take a feedback from them because you work with them over a deal. Over any deal would be at least a year old or something. So because if you tie up, if you sign up, you are going to be together working with that customer for a year or so. So there are clear cut programs where we take feedback from the customer, and you get to know your ROI from that also. So you've been investing in this particular engagement, and how is the customer really happy? Maybe he's happy in this area but not in that area. Maybe he
Hmm.
feels that you're technically adept but not that innovative. So why I'm calling out these points is because this is the exact reality. What happens when you actually go and measure your investments around
That's right.
customer engagements? Yeah.
Yes. Let us take some general questions. What would you think the difference between generally B2B buyer journey and a B2C buyer journey?
Oh yes, so B2C buyer journey is, I think, fairly short. You're trying to sell like a chocolate to a child, and the child decides to take it, or his mother decides to buy it basis the brand or the ad, how appealing the ad was,
Hmm.
and whatever. So it's a very short cycle. As compared to B2B buyer journey is very long, as I've mentioned before. So maybe about a year or two. It has various stages and various stakeholders involved, and various persona based decision making is also done. So that is predominantly the difference between the two.
That's right. We can also say that more of emotional, is there in B2C when we are doing the marketing, and here it's more logic based. So
Yes, but now if
that
you
is,
notice, yeah, that was a difference maybe some time back. But now if you notice, even B2B marketing, B2B storytelling is emotionally ridden. They are
yes,
all
yes. Like these are the great
very
examples in that.
emotions.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yes. So,
that's right.
but that's a good
Um,
point.
that's right. In your experience in e-commerce, with respect to artificial intelligence, anything you can talk about new that has been used to leverage and make better, in terms of putting products in front of
Yes.
them or the
Yes.
experience in general? Yeah.
Yes, so AI is actually already being used in e-commerce. Amazon uses it in a very big way. There's a
Hmm.
flywheel concept that they use, and AI in e-commerce is used for various things. AI drives the algorithms. So visual
Hmm.
search,
That's right.
what you see if you were to land up on Amazon site or eBay site, visually matching items. If you search for something, it will automatically throw up other things which are like that. ASOS and eBay have this visual search powered, AI powered visual searches, which work really well. There is automatic product categorization, automated product tagging. So if you're browsing on Amazon, you will find product tags, and you will find how they're being categorized. Most of these are automated by the algorithm, AI based algorithm there. And there's e-commerce personalization. So personalization is a very big trend in B2B and B2C both, and it is used by e-commerce players, to create personal interactions and experiences, and offering them, understanding what the customer actually needs, and offering them exactly that, basis their browsing behavior, purchase history, demographics. The most important trend, and the trend that I'm most excited about, is this voice search optimization, voice based searching. I think that is again an AI based facility which is going to take on e-commerce in a very big way. It has already taken on many of the players in the e-commerce, and it's going to be soon coming to India also in a big way. So voice search refers to spoken language where you are, instead of browsing or typing, you are saying it and it is throwing it up, and the search results are being thrown up. So while we have a Google Assistant, Siri, Alexa, we have Cortana, we have many virtual assistants, but the impact and the kind of game changing effect that voice search is going to bring, I think that is really critical, and it's something that we are all looking forward to.
That's right. With respect to, like, when we say augmented reality using in e-commerce, we all know about the lens cart, how they use it. Do you think there's any other, like the Indian e-commerce companies, they can come up with something in augmented reality?
I think not just Lenskart. There are many other forums. I believe that there are many women clothes kind of sites where you can actually try the virtual reality and augmented reality.
Hmm.
You can try the dress on yourself virtually and then decide whether you want to buy or not. So yes, it is definitely something which is there. I think it's not even a forward looking trend. It's already there. So yeah, yes, very much.
That's right. Awesome. So I think we'll be wrapping up the thing. So I would like to thank Namita for joining us for this session today. Very interesting session on B2B storytelling.
Thank you so much. And it was a really nice, interesting session we had, and I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much, Nikhil.
Thank you, Namita. And to the audience, thank you for watching this particular LinkedIn Live. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel also. So you're part of a community of marketing and media professionals. And we have a lot of live events like this coming up also, where people who are working in the industry, they talk about how they've executed certain campaigns, and in general, like they share all their knowledge, and we kind of, I would like to say, like more of a discussion we have on it. So it is kind of interesting for people who are interested in this domain in general. So thanks a lot. I would like to thank you, and I'll see you there.